Hi, I'm Nelani Nettrour, and I'm going to read to you from my book, Dog Tales, Book 2, All About Krammer. It is illustrated by Heather D. Nettrour, and it is dedicated to the special bond between dogs and their people. On the last track, Heather will sing Walkin'.
Hi, I'm Krammer. I am a Boston Terrier. I live with a family of people. Some have grown up and gone since I moved in, but others are still here. Mostly now there is Barry, otherwise known as the dad, Nelani, otherwise known as the mom, Heather, and Autumn. But sometimes the others return to visit, mostly Josh and Sam. But every now and then, even Jasmine will show up. Sometimes they bring others with them, and sometimes they come alone. I take good care of my people, although I let them think they are taking good care of me. It's a little tricky to keep this balance, but being at it as long as I have, I'm getting to be rather an expert at it. Let's take the dad. I know that he is so busy and hardly takes time for himself. So I'm sure to run around, look up longingly at the leash, and run to the door. Sometimes it even takes a few well-timed barks at my leash to make sure he gets the message. This is all for his benefit, so he can get out in the fresh air for a nice walk. I am glad to do my part to keep my family happy. And while we're out, a good roll on my back to scratch those hard-to-reach places is always a must. Well, usually more than one roll, because one is never enough. I can tell that the dad enjoys watching my acrobatics, so sometimes I put on quite the show for him. And when it comes to the mom, I often keep her lap warm when she is working at that computer thing. It was easier when I was a little smaller to fit just right on her lap, but I can still manage it with a little positioning. This I know is helpful to her. Savannah often comes over when she is working away, and though I know she likes to listen to the finished stories, it is not much fun to watch someone writing. Click, click, click. The sound doesn't change much. So, to be polite, I will often join Savannah in her games, or sit beside her while she plays with my other people. I have a routine when it comes to my sleeping. It is for the benefit of the family, so they know how much I care for all of them. I don't want them to think I'm picking favorites. First, I'll sit with Autumn and Heather in the living room while they are relaxing. Then I go to the dad and mom for a while. Then Heather calls me to bed. But in the middle of the night, it's back to the dad and mom. It may take me a while to get into the most comfortable position each time I switch places, but I don't mind the extra effort. It is not my comfort alone that I must be concerned about. Since the time that I was pretty young, Heather has been sketching me. I don't mind looking my cutest and inspiring some new creature for her. Did you know I was the inspiration for the Kramos, those lovable creatures on Lemak? Well, I do, and I haven't gotten a swollen head at all because of it. At first, there was just one kind of Kramos on one of the worlds. That in itself is quite the accomplishment, to be chosen as the model of a new type of creature. But then, suddenly, there became flying Kramos, water Kramos, Kramos mixes with other creatures I don't know the name of. One kind was just not enough. And for a very special present for the dad, Heather did a painting of me as a sphinx. And after that, wouldn't you know it, a Krammer sphinx was added to the map of Dragonlands. Autumn loves taking pictures and is a great photographer. She knows how to capture some of my better expressions. She is also on the lookout for just the right background and has moved me or put different toys around me. I know by the look in her eyes that these toys are not to be played with or ripped apart. So I leave them alone. The sacrifices I make for my family. Sometimes I play around with her, turning quickly at the last moment so she can get different angles of me. But sometimes, to show her how much I care, I'll get in just the right position when she has her camera in hand and look up at her with my big brown eyes. I will stay still and not get distracted. I can't count how many ahs I've heard in my life, and I still remain modest, lovable me. Every home needs a good warning system, and I pride myself on being just such a one. I keep a good watch out for strangers, and those who make that irritating ringing sound at the door, I know must be up to something. So I send out my warning. Everyone runs to see, which is exactly what I planned and expected. I am always on alert, which takes up a lot of energy that needs to be replenished. So I love to lie in the sun on top of Autumn's chair by the window and rest quite a bit of the day. It is a good position to know what is going on, and also very comfortable. I have a special understanding with the dad. He knows that when I sit on my little rug, I am expecting a treat. The others don't seem to understand this because it doesn't have the same effect on them. I have been known to wait quite a while if he is late in coming in from the truck. Other times, the dad goes away in the evening with the mom. They are gone for a while, but I know they've gone to get me something wonderful when I see that little white box in Dad's hands. It is always filled with something luscious. The dad knows I like variety, so I'm never quite sure what he brings me until he gives it to me. But it is always something great. In the summer, we go to visit Dixie and her people. I know by the smell outside the window of the truck that we are heading there, and I can hardly contain my excitement. I do love car rides and new smells. Running out of the car, I greet each of the people in turn. Although I enjoy Dixie as well, She can get rather annoyed by my playful attitude. So I take it easy with her and play more with her people. And Dixie's family is the dad, Steve, the mom, Moana. Ariane, who has started her own family, is only there rarely when I come. Jason is in the Coast Guard, so not often there. But Raquel, Sarah, and Jacqueline I know very well. They also have a creek over at Dixie's home. Often Raquel, Sarah, and Jacqueline join Heather and Autumn and me for a walk by it. It is cool there, even when it's hot. So nice and shady. I have a good time keeping an eye on all of them. Well, I mean, helping Dixie keep an eye on them, because we are at her home, so of course I give way to her decisions. When the weather turns cold, I do not like to spend much time outside. But during the cold time, excitement happens that always fills me with anticipation. First, the funny-looking tree that doesn't smell like a tree is put up. Then, flashing lights and shining things are placed on it. I know when this happens that my people will do a lot of baking for me and their friends and themselves. I don't know when the day comes, but the night before, the lights are not turned off the tree when it gets dark. That is my first clue. In the morning, multicolored packages are under it. Also, my paw stocking has many wonderful treats in it. I watch and enjoy, and sometimes even help with the tearing open of the packages. That is a lot of fun. This day makes the cold days almost acceptable. Almost. After that, Autumn started to puppy sit Nemo. Nemo's people are Sam and I wasn't sure at first what puppy sitting was. I was thinking that furry mop might be staying around for good. But Sam came after work, time and time again, and picked him up. So I knew, although he was over often, it wasn't permanent. All of this started in what is known as the winter. Winter really gets annoying after the celebrations are ended, as it seems to stay for a very, very long time. I do not enjoy the winter. Outside is cold, and I don't get many lesions. Frozen white stuff is everywhere. I usually try to just get through those times and dream of warmer days. I don't know what sends the change, but I am glad for it. I found, after a time, that Nemo, at least, became a diversion while I waited. So that was something. At first, it was rather irritating to share my people and things with Nemo. But then Nemo got his own things, and he began sharing them with me. I also discovered that he was great at playing tug-of-war, one of my favorite games. So now I think he is rather okay. I think my life truly begins again with the warm weather. That is more to my liking. In the summer, my people love to go to the lake. I don't quite understand their anticipation of it. It is a cold, wet place. The whole idea of getting wet doesn't appeal to me at all. I do not enjoy splashing in it, as many others do, but I like to be with my people, so I will watch over their water times. Often in the summer, Victor and Desiree come up, and it is one of their favorite places, so I know we will be going there even more often. When Victor and Desiree are up, Heather and Autumn stay up late with them, and they give me many, many special treats. Sometimes we take walks. Often I stay outside with them and the rest of the family late at night to watch the sky. They call it stargazing or watching northern lights, and sometimes even meteor showers. I guess where Victor and Desiree live, the lights often hide the stars of the sky from them. I find that a rather disturbing thought. Like I thought, we head to the lake quite a bit with Victor and Desiree. There is a jumping thing that they all seem to enjoy. I have tried it. It is easier to reach high up on that thing, but there is nothing to reach for. So, after a time, I am off and back in the sand watching. Up and down they go, up and down. Nemo sometimes comes with, and he just loves the water. I can't understand him at all. He gets all wet, shakes off, and jumps back in again. I am content to bask in the sun and dry off after my short jump and dip. The lake is also a meeting place for many of my friends. Garçon often brings Trinity and Emmylou and their people, Karen and Kevin, there to play. At those times, I'm also obligated to play tag with Garçon. What else can I do when I am it? At those times, I've been known to get more than my feet wet. Often Gaby and Tramp will also come with their person, the grandma, to the lake. Often Cody will also come. They can really get to splashing, and I have to get away from that. They are all so much bigger than me, and don't realize that I'm not the fan of the water that they are. Sometimes Heather or Autumn will put me on a thing that floats on top of the water, so I can join them without getting wet. Then I have fun at the lake. You might think it would be hard to learn to stay atop one of those things, but since all around is water, and I'd rather not be in the water, it was easy for me to balance. Riding on top of the water is rather relaxing. Once I realized that I shouldn't chew on my floaty thing. Shay and Savannah often spend a lot of time at our place during the summer. Shay has to go off to school most of the year, so I don't see him much until summer. Of course, summer often means the lake for my people, so they go with. When they are in the water, I might race in and out after them before I realize how wet it is. Shay is very fast and goes deeper than I would try, so he always wins. I will turn away and go back to the sand and wait for them to catch my hint. And soon they do. I knew they would get tired of that wet, cold water and come to the warm sand. They build sand castles for me to pounce on when they tell me to. I have to admit, though, that sometimes I get ahead of myself and smash them down a little sooner than asked. The temptation is so great, I can hardly resist. Shay and Savannah don't bring a friend for me, but they are so much fun to play with that I don't mind them coming by themselves. In the summer, we also have many picnics. At first, I wasn't sure what that meant, but after time, I understood. It is when the dad cooks outside and drops special treats for me to find when no one else is looking. Often, other people come, sometimes with my friends, sometimes alone. But picnics are always fun and yummy. During picnics is when I also see more of Jasmine and her boyfriend Jason. She has been off to something called college. Although I try to greet her with my enthusiastic jumping and my affectionate yelping, she does not seem to appreciate it as she did when she was living at home. I see Josh more during those times as well. Although I see him on a regular basis, this is a time with a lot of my people around, and I always get more excited. I make a point to give warm, welcoming barks and goodbye barks whenever we have visitors. But when we have a large group of people and new people, I don't stay long among them. I don't understand why. How much fun can they possibly have without me? Often when the days are hot, we like to go into the gazebo and enjoy stretching out on the long chairs and enjoying the coolness there. Of course, I love to curl up by one or another's feet. Sometimes they read the stories they are working on to me. I always find that rather enjoyable, although sometimes I find the soothing words cause me to drift off to sleep. Travis comes over and I know they will get the bubbles out. All those little people love the bubbles, but Travis squeals with glee when he sees them and can pop them. Often I help him to pop them. It is the least I can do. Savannah is often there as well, enjoying blowing the bubbles, catching the bubbles, and popping the bubbles. I have tried eating the bubbles. They look so delicious, but they are not. They taste like that stuff that's in my bath. Not at all appealing. Tyler and Dylan come to visit me. Dylan still has a very new smell since he is just a baby, which means he crawls on the floor like me. Although it didn't take him long to start imitating the bigger people and start walking. But he still crawls faster. So when he wants to get somewhere zippity fast, he is down on the ground again. I have known Tyler the longest of all the little people, so I remember when he was a baby like Dylan. So I always enjoy playing with him or sleeping by him when he stays overnight. I know this comforts him. A new girl has come over to visit me with Shay and Savannah. Her name is Danica. She also loves to play with balloons and bubbles, and to push around that little stroller thing filled with food. When I hear the word food, I am always on alert. But when I went over to smell the food, I find it is nothing I would want to eat. It smells more like my squeaky toys. I wouldn't mind tearing that food apart, like my squeaky toys, but they never let me get near enough to do it. Oh well, it must serve some other purpose, though I can't think what. I never see the little people trying to tear it apart. What a waste. I am happy to announce that I have a steadier visitor in Tiana this year. But this has not always been the case. Her mother, Ariane, is not really fond of me, which I can't understand. I try to make her feel welcome by chasing her around and barking my greeting, but this only seems to send her running. Her husband, Corey, understands the fun of this and is usually found laughing over the situation, which is encouraging. I like when she starts running because it means it's time for me to chase. But I guess I'm missing something because she never runs back to me, just away. And then off to the house I go. But Tiana is different. I can tell she really loves me and loves all dogs. She greets me excitedly and bids me to come over to her and play. She giggles when I kiss her neck, and she lets me curl up next to her when I'm sleepy. She lets me chase her around the room and squeals her glee, just as I like. I am glad that she enjoys my company, because now I get to see her more often. We have many gardens around our house. I understand they are pretty, but what I mostly care about is guarding over my family while they are out digging in the dirt. I really don't understand it. When I dig in the dirt, they tell me to stop. But then they will dig big holes, plop green things into the holes, and put dirt back in. Nothing is hidden. When I bury something, no one can find it but me. But when they bury things, they are sticking right out of the ground for all to see. Sometimes people are so strange. Many times now, Savannah comes over when Tiana is over, or Tiana comes over when Savannah is over. Sometimes Danica comes over when Savannah and Tiana are over. Then sometimes Travis comes over when Savannah is over, or Tiana is over, or both. When Shay is over, sometimes Tyler and Dylan come over as well. Anyway, many times there are a lot of the little people at once. This is always a lot of fun, because they run a lot, and I can join right in. They play at sword fighting, and all that lunging and twirling gets me excited. They build castles and knock them down, something I enjoy watching very much. Sometimes I like to beat them to the castle and knock it down first. They always let me know they approve by their squeals of, "Oh, Krammer!" In the summer, I take walks with my people and the little people. Although many of the little people are getting quite big now, I don't know what else to call them. Someone is usually in the stroller pushy thing, while others walk with my family and me. Shay is good at spotting many things that my people like to take pictures of, like eagles, dragonflies, butterflies, bees, and ladybugs. I take this opportunity for a stretch and a few rolls while the camera is snapping away. Of course, they can't help taking a few pictures of me as well. I just smile. We stop along the way, and my people and the little people drink out of bottles. They pour water out for me as well. They tried some strange water container for me to drink from, but it just didn't seem right. I'm used to drinking from their hands when on a walk. It is great to be out and about, surveying my domain. I like to keep track of what is going on around me, and any new smells I should be aware of. In the summer, there is also the thing called the tea party. I noticed that many different outfits are worn for this, and that it is not a time to run around, but instead to be quiet and careful. But there are many tasty treats that I am given when I look my sweetest, which is not hard for me. I can sit very still and stare at what I want, which usually works to get me a taste or two. This works the best on the little ones, Savannah, Tiana, and Danica, because they love to share their treats with me. I think they get as much fun out of me eating treats as they do eating them. I am glad to be a part of their happiness. During these hot times, I hear the words, Krammer's birthday, and I know that I'm in for a very special time. I'm not sure what this birthday thing actually means, but I do seem to get another number added at that time. What is most definitely sure is that it all revolves around me. Balloons and streamers are put up in the gazebo and around the yard. Many calls are made, reminding the people of my friends to come on over, and I get filled with anticipation. Nemo is one of the first to arrive with his people, Sam, and we have a good time playing while we wait for the others to show up. Garcon, Trinity, and Emmylou always bring their people, and Karen often makes very special, one-of-a-kind treats for me to share with my friends. Even my very own cupcakes that taste delicious to me, but I've heard Heather say, yuck, when she learned they had liver in them. I don't understand why she would object to liver cupcakes. I think they are absolutely scrumptious. Of course, I must wear the strange party hat. Sometimes my friends do as well. I will fight to get it off, though, and play a game with Autumn to see if she can get a picture of me before I can get it off my head. I usually win, but that only means they will try to get another picture. So after a while, I give in and just pose. I get many presents that I can rip open. Usually a big no-no. But on birthdays, it is okay. Open it, rip it. These things are shouted at me, and I am glad to oblige. It is fun to tear off the wrappings, almost as fun as finding what is inside. When I was younger, I thought that tearing off the wrappings was the present. Once I have my presents open, my friends like to test them out with me. As usual, this leads to tug-of-war with Nemo. Throughout the day of my birthday, many people come. I can usually always count on Shay and Savannah showing up. They bring me something new and tell me how cute I am. I know I am very cute, but it doesn't hurt to hear it often. Throughout my birthday, Tyler and Dylan may come over, or Tiana, and maybe even Travis. I never know until the day is over who else will come to celebrate with me. I know the party is nearly over when the balloons are brought down and I get to pop them. Those bouncy little creatures shriek when I bite into them, and then they are nothing but a bit of color on the floor that my people quickly pick up. Sometimes they are more of a challenge than at other times, and take quite a few bounces before I get them. But I always get them in the end. Soon my friends and their people have left. It is okay. I have had a good day, and now I'm tired. I can use a nice rest. This birthday thing is fun, but tiring. Good night.
I'm looking up at you with my adorable face, 'cause I want my walk-ins. I know if I wag my tail just right, I will get my license. 'Cause I want my walk-ins now, and I want my license now, and I want my walk-ins oh so bad. I want my walk-ins now, and I've got my tail wagging, and I've got my license now. I've got my walk-ins. I've got my walk-ins now, and I've got my tongue wagging, and I've got a smile on my